Hello and welcome back, everyone. So to start off, if I sound lower in volume for this video, it's because I'm trying to keep my voice down. It is 2 in the morning and my daughter's sleeping, her door's open, so I don't want to accidentally wake her up. She is on the other side of the house, but you never know. So anyways, I am going to be bringing you guys a list of the top 10 books on my TBR according to Goodreads. Now, on my Goodreads account, I have a want to read list, and then I have a books I own TBR list. The owned TBR list is the one where I pulled this from. So all of these are books that I physically own. So I will be holding them up and not putting pictures in because I'm a lazy girl and don't want to do that. So, and disclaimer now, if I accidentally say any of these ranking numbers wrong, that's because I'm not a math girly, okay? Numbers and me and my brain, they don't get along, okay? Simple as that. So, and the way I did this was just by the ranking, like the Goodreads, like you go and like how you change the order of the list. I just chose by average ranking, and that's how I got this list. So let's go ahead and let's jump into it. So and I'm going to be doing from 10 to 1, just so you guys know. So number 1 will be the most ranked book, and number 10 is the least, not counting everything else on the list. So anyways, let's start. So the first one we have is The Shadow Rising, book number 4 in the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. This is at 241,942. So this would be why. So I've read books 1 through 3 of Wheel of Time already. I did that before the first season of the TV show came out, since everyone said that it was roughly going to be around those books or whatever. Or at least books 1 and 2. I don't remember. It's been so long. And after I finished book 3, I didn't have book 4 at the time. And then when I finally got it, I was like, that's a big old book. That's a big old book. I was enjoying what I had read so far of The Wheel of Time. I wasn't like super blown away by it, but I was enjoying it. And then aside from this being such a big chonker, the fandom, y'all have really got to stop telling everybody about the slog. That's like a big deterrent. You guys have got to stop doing that, okay? That's not how you advertise people to pick up your series. Moving on. The next, number 9, is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, and this one comes in at 257,842 ratings. It's the Illumicrate version. I have still yet to read this, obviously. I'm not surprised it's on the list because I know he's popular, but it's mostly for his Ceruleancy book series, which I've already read, which is why it's not on this list. I've heard some hit or miss things about this one, so we'll see. I do plan on at some point in my life reading it. I'm hoping it'll give me not exactly the same vibe as Ceruleancy, but I'll at least enjoy the storytelling. That's what I'm at least hoping for. Coming in at number 8 is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, and this has 264,527 ratings. And this one, so I've read Joe Abercrombie. I've read his Shattered Sea trilogy, and I really enjoyed that one. And a lot of people are like, it's not his best series or whatever. I personally really enjoyed it. I like the characters and the portrayal and like the grittiness of it. And I know this one is, because I know that one's more like some people say it's YA, which I can understand that, but I feel like it's like in the middle between YA and adult. But this one is adult, and I have quite a few people who I know who very much enjoy this series, and I do have a feeling I will when I get to it. Just haven't committed to it yet. Coming in at number 7 is Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, and this one has 282,783 ratings. This one was, I purely picked this one up because I have been getting into sci-fi more often, and this is considered like one of the big series that you gotta read. You know, everyone knows it. I've never watched the show. I have been told that I will probably enjoy the show when I watch it. I don't know what service it's on. Not that I pay for any of them right now. But yeah, that was the reason why I picked this one up, because I know it's a big popular one. Everyone knows it. But I've had some people who have read it who said that they think I would enjoy this series. Coming at number 6 is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And this one comes in at 312,070. Sorry, I told you guys I'm not good at this. I have it written down in like word form here. But yeah. But no, I picked this one up back during like the hype of it and everything. I know a lot of people say Rin is a very unlikable main character, and I don't have anything against unlikable main characters. Like, I like Jorg by Mark Lawrence, you know, his character, The Broken Empire, and he's considered an unlikable MC, but I actually really like him. And so I don't have anything against reading a book that has an unlikable MC. I actually kind of like the approach of writing someone who's just not likable, because you have to sell the character in a different kind of way to keep people interested in the story. And so that was one of the reasons why I picked it up, but also, you know, it's based on Asian, not like mythology. Yeah, mythology. It says so back here. Okay, so it is. I was, for a second there, I thought I was wrong, but like it deals with like Asian mythology and their gods and such, and you know, I've always wanted to read some more about that and everything. So that's how this one ended up on my shelves. At some point we'll tackle this. Coming at number 5 is The Last Witch, part of the Witcher series, by Andrzej Sapkowski. I hope I said all of that right. And this has 371,040 ratings. So this one, I wanted to read the series because I watched the show and I really enjoyed the show. So I was like, oh, well, if I enjoy the show, I might, you know, enjoy the books. And I know it's not always the case because, you know, there's liberties taken with the shows and such. And I know there was some things changed, because we all know about the drama with, you know, Cavill trying to be as faithful to the books as possible and the showrunners being like, we don't care. So yeah, now I do have friends such as Chaz over at Bookish Chaz, who is like, you're probably gonna have some issues with it, because it's certain things that he has issues with that he knows I also have issues with. So I do know that there might be things within this entire world that I don't agree with, but I still want to give it a shot. I own the whole series already in 2 different formats, and I own 3 different versions of this particular book. So yeah, it's a bit much. Coming in at number 4, we have The Final Empire, Mistborn number 1 by Brandon Sanderson, because we all don't know who this guy is. And this has 700,000. Did I forget a word in there? I told you guys I was bad at this. 763,050. I just had a bunch of mess ups in it. That's how many ratings this has. So it actually took me a while to be sold on picking up Mistborn. I used to be in a Discord where there was a couple of like really big Sanderson fans, and I had asked like, why should I pick up Mistborn? Like, what is Mistborn about? And they kept going on about how great of a writer Sanderson is, which is something that I've noticed in general when people talk about Sanderson and his work. They spend more time talking about Sanderson as a person and how he writes as opposed to what his story is about. And so I had no idea what Mistborn was about for the longest time. I just knew he was such a great, fantastic writer. And considering the very first thing that I ever read by him was his graphic novel White Sand. And I read that when I came back into the reading scene, so I didn't know Sanderson was such a big name. And when I read that book, that graphic novel, I was like, this author is horrible. I don't ever want to read anything by this person again. And then I found out he was like a super big prolific author, and I was like, did I just start with his worst piece of work? Like, so yeah, so anyways, in that Discord, I was like, I need you guys to sell me the book, not Sanderson as a person, not his writing, the book. Like, what is the story about? What are things I can expect? And they did, and I liked a lot of the things that I heard. I just haven't gotten around to it because it's just, he's such a big name, and I'm just like, he'll always be there. And honestly, his world is so there's so many books in it, and there's some of them are so long that I'm just like, I don't want to commit that time. To be 100% honest, sometimes I look at those, like the Stormlight Archive ones, I look at those and I'm like, I don't want to invest that time. So who knows, maybe one day, at least I own it. I actually also really love the cover, this cover and the other two that match this particular set. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it, but I think they're really pretty. Moving on to book 3, The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This one comes in at 915,101 ratings. I love the movie The Princess Bride. It is my everything. It is my heart and soul. I can watch that for literally a month straight. I have done that before. My daughter has literally taken the DVD out of the DVD player to stop me from doing that because she got sick and tired of it. I can repeat lines from the movie, you know, it is my everything. And this is one of those ones where I want to read the book, but I also don't want to read the book because I love it in movie format so much. And a lot of people have always said, like, oh, The Princess Bride works better as a movie than it does as a book. So I know that there's going to be some massive differences between the two and how they're told. And, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I have to at some point, so I can at least know that I experienced it in book form. But there's a part of me that always knows the movie is going to be superior, even if I never read this book. Coming in at number 2 is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. And this one comes in at 1,533 rankings. So over 1 million. This is the first book in her, what is it called? I forget what the trilogy is called. But it's the trilogy before the Six of Crows duology. I think, is it just called Shadow and Bone? No, Grisha. Her Grishaverse. That's what it is. I can think. And I picked it up because I had read Six of Crows, and I fell in love with Six of Crows. Like, I love Six of Crows. And then, of course, after I bought it, this is like a Barnes & Noble special edition. Like, it's super pretty. There it is. But, of course, after I picked this up, everyone was like, if you love Six of Crows, you're probably only going to think that this is okay. And if you loved this one, you would think, like, Six of Crows is okay. And I love Six of Crows. It's one of my it's one of my top favorite YA series. So I haven't gotten around to it. Also, for whatever reason, they did not finish doing special editions for the rest of the other 2 books in the trilogy. So, like, I just own the first one, and I own the American special edition and the UK special edition, because the UK special edition matches the editions that I have for Six of Crows. So I have an incomplete set, so that's also probably why I haven't started it. And I don't know why they never finished making them. Like, publishers got to stop doing that. Moving on. And coming in at number 1 is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This comes in at 1,643,433 rankings. This is, I believe this is the only piece of work by Madeline Miller that I haven't read. Do I own 2 copies of it? Yes. That's just what happens. Okay, I own 3 of Circe because that's my favorite. That's my favorite by her is Circe. And again, this is one of those ones where I have heard if you love Circe, you're not really going to like Song of Achilles, but if you love Song of Achilles, you're not really going to like Circe. and Cersei's like a top book for me. So I'm like, I'm a little hesitant to read it because I'm like, I don't want to hate it, which I don't think I will. I don't ultimately think I will hate it. I don't think I will love it as much unless there's something in here that just like really blows me away with how Madeline tells the story. But yeah, this one comes in at number 1 out of all of the books that are on my shelves. This is the one that has the most rankings, at least from the last time that I updated that list. It's very possible that there might be something else on this bookcase that actually outranks it, but I haven't updated that list since the beginning of the year. So maybe next year I'll do an updated version of this video with the Goodreads list properly updated with any new books that I have added, because it's very possible that there's actually something in here. Who knows? But that's just what we have for now. So if you guys have read any of these, please drop your thoughts and opinions down below. Tell me what you guys think, if you think I will enjoy them or not. And until next time, keep reading. Bye.